A good evening. Happy Monday night, 2023. And we got a guest today, Divinely Cursed, aka DC. Good to have you on, brother.
Super excited to be with you guys. First podcast, so really excited. And thank you very much for having me. I feel honored and again, super hype.
First episode of the new year. We have a special guest on. If you guys don't know DC, he's a good friend of mine. Had to bring him on. Full of enthusiasm, always a good time. DC, tell us about yourself. What do you make content on? What else do you want to give the floor to? Introduce yourself, brother.
Yeah, thank you again. I'm Divinely Cursed, DC for short. I'm a French Canadian, so if you can notice the accent. I was watching, I met Teach on Twitch where I stream. I was pretty old school in 2022. I slowly start opening and media and stuff. I mainly stream with my mother, old grumpy mama. She's amazing, really inspiring, and with friends like you, Teach. You're all amazing. Get me into media and realize that it's nice to share a passion for gaming. And thanks to you again, I learned about G Fuel. I didn't even know about that. I didn't know it was on for so long, so many years. I generally just drink Monster that I grab at the gas station, but now I'm getting an olive to that. So yeah, again, super excited to be there. And it's pretty much it.
I mean, not gonna lie, we got a lot of variety. Like I was drinking Red Bulls at tailgate yesterday, going to a football game. It happens, right?
Yep. Do you feel that different energy drink fit different like vibes, different activities?
Yes, actually. Because I mean, it depends on like some people say, hey, you drinking when I'm drinking. Some days you want the sugar, sometimes you don't. A lot of times I go without the sugar, and sometimes a certain flavor fits a certain mood. Like sometimes when you look at the like, come on, Teach, you're thinking about it, right? Like there's sometimes where it's just like I want to relax, and then there's some where it's just in case it is a hard day at work today, I need something comforting and something that'll get me through to not have me take shit from anybody. Everybody has like those certain flavors that fit a different mood, and for some people it's different, but for me, I got a variety. One day I wake up and feel candy, one day I'll feel like a fruit, one day I'll feel like a sour. Different profiles for different needs.
I agree. I like it. Go with the mood and the vibes. It's true.
Yep.
So DC, you were recently with a big Canadian company that we are learning more about, and DC also, for all of our Canadian viewers, could be our big Canadian perspective, because of course we're in the US and we can't necessarily provide that the correct way like DC can, so that's why we got to bring the legend onto the show to give you guys the real Canadian experience. But you were with the company we've seen a little bit about recently called Kraken. Give us your thoughts on them real quick. Like, how did you find out about them? What it made you like go and try out their product? Was it the flavors? Was it the design? What got you interested at first?
Yeah, so it popped randomly into because I realized that last year there was a lot of new brand of energy drink that were coming out. So I saw their commercial on Instagram, if I remember right. And they were saying that they were proudly Canadian and they were sponsoring a gamer and they were looking to grow. So I was like, oh, why not? And I filled it. And I got a surprise when I came back from army exercise. I saw the sponsorship with the portal and everything. So I was like, well, I guess I'm in. Let's try it. And honestly, I had a great experience. I could run at some point downstairs to grab one of but the art design is really nice. The flavor are surprising. I can mention one that actually punched me really good. And I was like, oh God, that might be my new favorite flavor of all time with energy drinks. But really? Unfortunately, I quit the sponsorship. I don't know if it applied only to me, but so they were Canadian. I guess they moved to US. And now really? When you do shipping from Canada, I pay double the amount with UPS. A tub costs me almost $100 because of the shipping. And I addressed it because the company seems to be really transparent. Another issue I had too, it's when you get sponsored by them, they give you like a profile where you can keep track of your earnings, the redeem and everything. It didn't update, so it will just not populate anything. I was like, that's kind of concerning. So I addressed this as well. And funny thing too, it's Teach let me know in advance, 2 weeks in advance, if I'm not wrong, that I was invited to the podcast. So I messaged them to ask if they could provide some information, some fun stuff I could bring to the table tonight to promote Kraken. And I got what we say in French, silence radio. So I just didn't get any news. So after all of those little things, I was like, well, if as a partner and a consumer, I'm not really pleased with the product, it's really sad to say because it's really good. And I have one there. So like just, here we go. Like the tub is good quality compared to like G Fuel, where I found it was really plastic. It has a little thing that you remove, and the artwork is really colorful. I mean, I love Kraken rum, so drinking Kraken Energy was pretty cool. But again, really great product. It's just had a bad experience on the shipping side and the portal for partnership side, and didn't get any news from it. So at this point, I was like, well, might just see what else is out there.
So a +1 for the product, -1 for the communication, a -1 for the business side on your end. Sorry to hear that, man. I really am.
They're new. They're pretty recent. Like everything, everybody learn. It doesn't matter where, if it's business with friend. And I guess I hope they're gonna get better because I really like their product. They feel. I had really when you mentioned you drink an energy drink going with the mood. I had the impression that Kraken kind of feel like an adult energy drink. Like I will take that and I will be able to go work or do stuff. And it was just a really good, not too sugary. And without the crash of a Monster, for example, I will drink a Monster and I will have the sugar crash. I didn't feel that with Kraken. And then when I did a double, they mentioned on the thing to not take two. My heart was going. I didn't have that with G Fuel, for example. I could make a joke on my mother and put like 3 scoops and be like, every go you have a huge peak and go down after.
She's watching, right?
I know that she knows because I'm coming in.
She's actually got a question for us too.
Oh no.
She does.
So with your own Kraken, what one was probably your favorite flavor?
The latest flavor, a good old classic fruit punch. But the thing is, it didn't taste like a normal fruit punch because it didn't use any of the fruits and like berries and stuff like that. It was a dragon fruit with lime. It tastes literally nothing compared to any other fruit punch or like. And I don't know if you guys know the Pacific Punch of Monster. That's probably one of my favorite punch flavor. And the Kraken one just beat it. I find that it was so different. And it was kind of it was brave from their end to pull up a classic and just change the recipe all along. But it tastes really good. So that was my favorite one.
Not gonna lie, the one Monster flavor I miss, it was the white tea and dragon fruit.
I never tried this one.
I think an acquired taste. It's regular purple dragon fruit, and it's got like this white tea kind of thing in there. In my opinion, very good. But there's some people out there that would say, "Dude, what the hell are you drinking?"
Yeah, did they remove it?
I think they were making it for a certain time. There was like 3 flavors of the line. It was like it was a green tea, a golden tea, and then the white tea dragon fruit. I miss it, but I haven't seen it on the shelf in a couple of years.
I hate when they do that. It's like
I hate it too.
Something good, we remove it.
So, OGM question. What do you think of all these copy-paste energy companies? There are a lot of them around. So, I'll say this, right? And I think you will probably see this, and me and Teach say it all the time. When we say, hey, there's a new energy drink company. So I will give a company called Dubby credit because they weren't like the cliche saying, hey, we're a new energy drink company. We have blue raspberry. So do you and everybody else. It's like you wouldn't say, hey, we're a new soda company. Here's a cola. There's too many people that like Pepsi and or Coke for you to compete with a different cola. So why would you be a new energy drink company and say, hey, we have blue raspberry? Like, come on.
I mean, down with big energy, W. Down with big energy. I love it. That's their personality. Down with big energy.
Speaking of, though, they are actually making a blue raspberry flavor. I have been keeping up with Their TikTok has news updates. They are making a blue raspberry, and I believe Galaxy Grenade might be getting vaulted.
So the OGM question, the interesting thing is that it's a ever-growing market. And I know a lot of people are trying to get into this market because, like, when G Fuel got back into it 8-10 years ago, it seemed so niche. Like, why would I have a powder? Why wouldn't I just go grab a Red Bull? And I can understand more trying to get into that marketplace because it is an ever-evolving and ever-emerging market. But it's about how people stand out, and it's about how they present themselves and create their product. Because it's like I've honestly said a million times, you guys know me, like, W is a perfect example. They're technically a legitimate company, but I've always kind of found them to be a joke for the personality that they give off. So I think it's how they handle themselves and how they handle their product. And I think it just comes down to, you know, actually creating a good product.
You got to create a good product first, but also I tell people this all the time. Now, I'm fortunate. If I wanted to grab something, there's a gas station about a half a mile away from my house. It's not a far drive. But yet, if there is a time where I'm visiting this certain part of my family, the nearest gas station is miles away. Miles away. So, you know, it kind of goes of, I'm not sure if you've watched this movie, guys, but do you remember We Bought a Zoo?
No, I never saw it.
I don't think
so.
so.
Very good movie. Very good to watch with family. But what happens is Matt Damon's making dinner with his family, and he goes, well, guys, I forgot the butter. So what's more important, 11 miles one way to the store or butter? Sure enough, you end up going to the store.
Yeah,
but I'll say this. If you're in the middle of nowhere and you got this and all you need, you have your shaker and all you need is freaking water, it's so much easier than just saying it's like imagine you're like here, you look at the clock and you're like, oh, son of a bitch, do I want to run to the store right now? Oh, convenient.
Just like making a coffee. Yeah, literally, you can stay in the comfort zone of your house and prepare yourself for an energy drink and everything.
Yeah, like if you make coffee at home, there's not really much of an effort. It's like, hey, it's 11 o'clock at night. What are you doing? I'm working. I'm entitled to coffee.
Yep. I mean, it's also kind of a good side segment that I was going to get into. We'll get back to the main one, but to even ask that and get more of DC's Canadian perspective, if we would go into like a general gas station right now, like what kind of energy drink brands are you guys see? Of course, probably Monster, probably Red Bull, but is there any other like companies that would be noticeable or even Canadian exclusive that we don't know about?
That's a shame on me. I should have actually go scouting prior to the podcast and kind of grab that. But you know how you go to a gas station, and because energy drink have been out for so long, like I was a kid and I saw energy drink, you kind of just main focus into the basic one that you know and you trust because they've been there for so long. So like Red Bull, Monster, NOS, and all those one. I know they're small one, but generally you don't go to them. And I think it's why, like, you know, when OGM was mentioning so many copy paste, or it's like a meta thing now, so many different brands. I think one of the things that can help new company and smart company is the branding, and it's why, like for example, gamers or people on Twitch, content creator, when you see them and people follow them and they see the people that they like watching drinking a certain thing, they're gonna want to try it. So I think that's the big thing for energy drink now. It's they need to advertise if they're more a sugar energy drink or more a healthy one. After that, they need to brand and kind of like go with the vibe and the people that's gonna try their product. But yeah, I know there's a lot, but I generally just see the one I drink. Like I will grab a Monster and I'm gonna be like, here we go, it's a good one, I like it, so why try something else?
Okay, so I got this
live
pulled up.
Chat. Have you heard of a one called Beaver?
I got the picture right here. So if I'm correct, and this is very funny because on the bottom it has the Canadian leaf and it says damn good citrus. This company's called Beaver Buzz Energy.
I didn't know this one.
So just for context.
Are they only Canadian or they are US as well?
I mean, I've never seen this before. I mean, it's got the Canadian leaf on the bottom. I mean, that's... I will say, if this was sold in America, they would probably assume that it's an IPA.
a beer from Canada. There we go.
Canadian Leaf, damn good citrus. Oh no, if I'm drinking that from 10 feet away, like, I'm not sure if you've seen the Sprite cans lately, but I grabbed myself a Sprite Zero because I was testing G Fuel mixed with Sprite.
Okay.
And the Sprite Zero cans had the Black Panther Wakanda Forever label on it, so it had like a black skin to it. So I'm watching football, right? And one of the guys is like, dude, hand me one of those. What is that? And I'm like, it's a Sprite, dude. He goes, now he's a couple beers deep and everything, and he's kind of looking at it like, huh? I thought it was an IPA.
That's good. I tried this Kraken. They had pretty unique flavor. They had one. It was literally a cream soda, like the pop. And I tried it with sparkling water and ice cream, and it tastes really good. I had the impression I had a milkshake, an energy drink milkshake. It was pretty good. So it's nice to try stuff. Yeah.
Wow.
I really like that DC just brought up that little like innovation of making like a float out of it, because like one thing we've done here on the show a lot of times, we'll take energy drink brands and mix it with like tea or lemonade, like actual tea, actual lemonade, see if they work together. So I like that you brought that up.
So we've made tea on this show. We've mixed it with lemonade on this show, maybe off camera, but I know we've mixed it with lemonade before.
Mm-hmm.
We've made a snow cone on this show. Like we actually used snow from outside and, mixed it in and such. But I mean, I don't think we've ever made a float. We have definitely not made a float.
I like that he brought that up. So when it comes to Kraken, how much caffeine is in Kraken? Like how much would it be per scoop?
So if you go on their website, you can click and they have like all the lists. So they have taurine, L-tyrosine, L-citrulline, caffeine, 140 milligram.
Okay, so it's about an industry average.
Yeah. And
we've had some powders here go down because they want to be able to sell them in every single country without the limitations being violated. Like we had some tubs that were 160, but all of them are now at the average of 140.
And speaking on that, does Canada have any regulations on caffeine content?
I don't know too much about that. Like I said, I should have researched a little bit more. You brought the Canadian perspective, and I'm the noob. I don't know.
No, you're A-okay.
It's all good, man.
I'm pretty sure. Like that's a thing, and we talked a bit earlier before we go live. Then generally, when I see a product and I see that it's both US and Canada, I'm generally more excited to jump in because I just find it normal on the market, and just it's nice that we share a product with like our neighbors, so it makes sense. I still remember the amount of time, Teach, you brought up a nice G Fuel edition, and it was like, God damn it, forget you're Canadian, you cannot have it. That's the thing I wish in the future is I would like to get into a brand that's really nice. It's like evolving and kind of like really good with the flavor and stuff like that, but that you don't get limited from if you're US or if you're a Canadian. But
sorry, cough.
I mean, shipping is always such a pain in the ass, but I mean, regardless of shipping, like there were so many, I'd say one of the biggest flavors that was US only for a good amount of time was Ice Shatter. Because a lot of Canadians were like, hey, a Mortal Kombat flavor's coming. I want it. US only? Oh, come on. Even like Spider-Man, I think, was US only, right, Teach?
Yeah, the Radioactive Lemonade one. Yeah.
I'll say this: the flavor was absolutely atrocious. It was complete ass.
Oh, he's talking Spider-Man. He's talking Spider-Man. I was like, don't be talking schmack on Venom or Carnage. Now those flavors were so.
No. Venom and Carnage are good. I never hated on Venom. Listen, the only thing that was bad about Venom was the black dye freaked me out. But again, that's because of my work experience. But yeah, the fact that they couldn't get Venom, Carnage, that Ice Shatter, some of the best flavors they couldn't get in Canada, and that, come on, you're right there.
And it's kind of sad because they're missing a bigger market. And Teach, you mentioned a glitch. That's the thing. Like it was a surprise that I got sponsored by Kraken, but I'm not looking for a sponsor. I'm just looking for a great product that I can get OGM in and just kind of get a nice. It's in my routine now to prepare myself a shaker and just drink and play game and do my workout, and it's really fun. So it's why I was excited to kind of sit here with you guys and learn for maybe future product to try.
And see, that's why like I enjoy being with Glitch, because I know they ship to Canada. So if I ever like give away a gift card or something, that they do ship to outer countries. They don't do it to every, but they do it to most. And Canada is one of them, which I am happy, because a lot of times they'll be like, hey, try this G Fuel, and you'd be like, oh shucks, we can't get it shipped here. And I was like, WTF G Fuel.
Yeah, like that always breaks my heart. I mean, I think even if Glitch were to do another collab, like for instance, Teach, there's 2 flavors that Glitch has that are collabs. Are they able to ship worldwide?
They don't do so. Like, it doesn't matter if they're a collab or not. But Glitch doesn't ship worldwide, but they do ship to more foreign countries than a lot of other companies do.
Well,
nice.
More than just US. I mean, because the reason I say that is Blade Point and I think it's Azure. You know what I'm talking about. Yes.
Yep.
I know. I don't have him. I don't have him.
You will be getting a sample of this, because it's honestly may have been better than V1.
Which I will say, I mean, we compared. I'm not sure if you know this, DC, but they switched formulas relatively recently, a couple months ago. We compared the original formula to G Fuel Hype Sauce because they're both raspberry lemonade.
Yeah.
We both kind of just said, just grab Hype Sauce. But if you're saying that the V2 formula is better, Teach, that kind of speaks a lot, because you've had a lot of Hype Sauce in your life.
With this one, the V2 is definitely better than the V1.
Well, Hype Sauce is better than both, you think?
It's close, but it's different though when you're talking about sweeteners to no sweeteners.
Fair enough.
How's the powder and the Glitch? Because one example I can say, it's Kraken. Like when you open it and you smell it and you look at it, you can see that it's a really like healthy and natural one, but they don't put the little bag in it, so it become rocks sometime, and that was annoying because you end up losing some because it dry out. So we needed to open G Fuel that we had, taking those bags and throwing them into.
I mean, we've tried a lot here. I mean, these are 3 different brands right here.
No, okay. But he brings up an amazing point though, Rally, is that Kraken doesn't put in the silica packets. So if you don't have it in a certain amount of time,
neither does Maw, actually, and I think that's wrong. Because if you don't, I mean, is there an expiration date on that container?
Technically, they should fabricate.
Or maybe on the bottom, because a lot of companies put on the bottom. But I love that you brought that up, though, because I didn't know that about Kraken. And I also
and it dry out over time, and it create like those rocks, and they're really hard to dilute. I mean, I don't want to start taking a spoon and scratching it. I just want to make it. And
we don't want to be like churning it and stirring it around and training the clumps out because they don't want to put a hydration packet in. Like, to me, that's kind of fugazi.
And that's the thing. I don't have a lot of experience with different brands, but G Fuel, I never had an issue. When you open it, you know it's powder at the yes, and you can just go, and you're never gonna have that rock. And when you swallow it, OGM can, if she's still in the chat, she can say she didn't see it at first, and she's like, oh god damn it, they need to change that and put the bag in it, because she swallowed the rock right in.
Oh. Actually, it's funny you say that too, because I mean, this Advanced GG thing, this has the card.
Yeah, I never understood the card thing.
I don't know. It makes room because, I mean, well, think about it. Also, this one's a little more grainy, like Juju, where it's kind of like grain sugar.
Glitch, for example, they actually put 2 of these packets in the tubs.
You think it'd make a difference, or
absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know if 2 makes a difference, but like in general, it definitely.
Yeah, that bag definitely. Yeah.
I'm actually really glad you brought that up, because I didn't know that about Kraken, and that's a really good point to know.
Also, I mean, if the packet is also empty, it means that something is drying the heck out of this. Like, I mean, when you hear this in here, Not trying to do some ASMR, but when you feel something in there, that's when you know it's good and healthy. If there's
Okay.
nothing in there, because it depends. Like everyone will tell you, because we've heard some stories and experiences. One guy had a couple of these above his stove, like right above where the spice cabinets were, and he's like, "My G feels hard." No, hey, dude, try somewhere where there's not a lot of heat and or moisture. You'll thank
Yeah.
us later. You know what I mean? Someone makes a mistake, all that. I mean, it depends on the formula. Some are more powdery, some are more chalky, some
Yeah.
have more of a grain texture. Some flavors clump up more than others. Like we found out, Teach, the strawberry slushy,
Mm-hmm.
that tub hardened up, right?
Yeah, that one hardened up a little quicker than I thought it would, and sadly, because that's one of my favorites.
It's not one of the best flavors out there, but it's just one of those where it's just like it's good and it's a nice. It's like it's a comfort flavor. It's smooth. Like not every flavor has to be the best for you to enjoy it a lot. It's one of those things.
Yeah. But that's the same. I remember when I was with G Fuel, I ordered a couple of different flavor, and generally some I will feel it's more like an after dinner thing. Another one I could have it earlier in the day. The Sonic Fruit Punch, for example, the Party Punch, that was not for middle day. Like I needed to have it late at night when I was gaming because I felt that it was punching for real. Like that's way too sweet and kick way too much. That's the kind of thing I take like a shot of tequila. It's like gets over it.
Oh God! Can I be honest with you? When I had my Party Punch, I got a sample bag of it. I took a couple of sips. Now it smelled really good.
Yep.
But for some reason, when I was tasting it, it tasted like sour milk.
Oh.
So I was drinking this outside, right? And after like the second or third sip, I kept tasting like sour milk, and I dumped that shit in my driveway. I woke up the next morning and I'm like, "What's this blue puddle?" And I'm like, "Oh, right, I did that. My bad."
That's weird though. Like maybe it was the top that had the. I don't know. Like it didn't taste that great. It's not my favorite, but definitely didn't taste
apparently it's supposed to be like sour cereal. Like I think that's what the flavor profile was. But
Okay.
again, sour milk anything is just not good.
Nope.
Ugh. No.
Berry Bomb is Faceberry. Oh, so they rebrand the.
Face Clan left G Fuel earlier last year. So some flavors got the boot and some basically got rebranded.
Yeah.
Like for example, they had Area 51. That actually one of those flavors, that flavor itself got rebranded into one of the Dragon Ball Z collabs.
Okay.
Now Phase X, that got turned into Phase Freeze, and then eventually went into another Dragon Ball Z flavor.
Yeah, they will reuse flavor that are popular.
Yeah, so that one me and Teach are actually a fan of. But that Phase 51, that melon sorbet, it is just not it.
One last product I tried from G Fuel before trying Kraken was Crimson Tears, the one from Elden Ring. That was probably one of my favorite, honestly. It was not too sweet. It felt like I could drink it just like a juice in the middle of the day. It was really, really good. That's probably one of my favorite I have.
That's one of those acquired taste flavors.
Okay.
Like it's just there's some flavors that just have this it's an exotic fruit but also has an earthy tone.
Yeah.
It kind of goes into like a guava category. You either like it or you don't.
Yeah.
And there's very few where it's this okay. Like G Fuel's had so many flavors, and there's so many where that are controversial. Like here's one, and Teach is gonna. I can't wait to see his facial reaction about this. Would you ever taste something that's watermelon and mint?
Oh gosh.
What do you think, DC? Watermelon and mint.
You know what? I think it doesn't sound good. But I will have, because you're right. At the start of the show, you mentioned how you cannot be mad of, oh, you have a raspberry because it exists. I think when you have an energy drink company that need to stay popular and grow, you need to drop those weird ass flavor and try, because like you say, some people will like it. And I think that's the punch energy company need to stay alive. They need those fancy mix. When I was watching you guys trying some stuff, I catch some of the thing, and I was all excited telling to Jim, look at them, they're like alchemists making things, and I don't even know if it's going to be good, but we need to try things like that. So I don't know, I think I will jump in it and try it, but worst happen, I don't like it.
So
it's either a flavor you kind of love or hate. It was a flavor people wanted back for a long time. They just brought it back. And me personally, like, I don't mind the watermelon. I like the watermelon, but I don't want mint in my energy drink. Like, I don't want toothpaste.
So I actually asked him, this is one of the very early episodes of the podcast. And I'm just like, you don't want mint? And he goes, I don't have mojitos here, man. That I don't want toothpaste in anything I consume. No mint. No mint for me.
I changed my opinion on that, because I like going in the club and dancing. And one night, one of the barmaids make me what they call a polar bear. I think it's banana liquored with, it tastes like a toothpaste, but like you mentioned, really, sometimes you go with the mood. I felt that was the perfect drink to take. It cleared your throat and it feels good. So I don't know, maybe in an energy drink, you're gonna go for a run or something, you drink this, you feel fresh, you're like, let's go. So I don't know, yeah, maybe mint is a way. It's just you need it at the right time.
Have you ever had a julep by any chance, you guys?
No.
What it is you take mint, you mince it in a glass, ice, sugar syrup, and then you top it with I believe it's either whiskey or some sort of bourbon. I'm not, listen, it's a brown booze on top.
Yeah.
But I mean, you got your whiskey. It's basically a simple syrup. A lot of people make it homemade, and the mint just to give it a touch of freshness. But
yeah,
I think a lot of people will tell you it just sweetens and waters down the brown booze.
Okay.
But I mean, as far as the Dub melon, that watermelon mint, to me, I think it tastes like mint that you want from like a tea. But unfortunately, that watermelon ends up tasting almost kind of like a bubble gum.
Okay.
So when you have bubble gum and mint, you go, okay, who in this son of a bitch made toothpaste?
Yeah,
I think it's just okay, but not reaching for it, and I don't need it to try it again. Whereas Teach would probably, we have a saying around here called baby, that's drain cleaner. Because the reason why we came up with drain cleaner is if it actually started with the carbonated cans. So what I learned in maintenance is if you have something carbonated, instead of throwing the whole thing in the garbage, you would pour it down a drain. The carbonation would help clean the drain.
Yep.
So that's where you got drain cleaner. You'll actually see a couple of times where I've actually opened up my window and just went pour that shit right in the driveway.
We didn't pass the cut.
So off topic real quick, because it deserves credit and recognition. DC's got moves. You talk about bringing up the club. This man can dance. I'm just saying.
I was about to. A man doesn't bring up the club if you can't dance. So I just kind of assumed that.
I love music. I love music and dancing. It's just, for me, it's a form of expression. I love dancing like I love gaming. It's cool. If one day I come visit you guys, I'm gonna drag your ass. We're gonna go in the club, get that polar bear, that men thing, and here we go, party all night. And Teach, a question about the glitch. How do you place it with kind of on a scale compared to like Sugar Rush, like Monster, G Fuel, or something more LT, or like where will it stand? Like if you can, because I might try it. I'm looking to try new products.
So like I like Glitch highly because they use an ingredient in there called theobromine, which theobromine hits your receptors a little bit harder, and it's not caffeine, but it helps, like the silly easy way to say it, it helps connect helps give you that like punch of energy a little bit quicker because your body receives it a little bit quicker.
How do you say it? Theanine?
Theobromine.
Oh, okay.
Heobromine. But it's one thing that they had in the V1 and the V2, but they don't use any maltodextrin. They don't use any sweeteners, so it's not going to be as sweet as G Fuel. It doesn't come out chalky. But it's like the reason why I've always liked the company was okay with joining them because they have good flavors, they have a good community, and I've always been big on ingredients as someone who people jokingly call me a health junkie, though I'm not. I just careful what I put in my body. But like I could drink G Fuel all day and just be like, okay, 140 milligrams caffeine. When you have that theobromine, though, it hits.
Okay.
You're feeling the energy. And one scoop is only 100 milligrams, but 2 scoops, which I drink, is 200.
Do you get a crash from it after, or no?
No.
Okay.
So just a heads up, I actually learned this from this guy who actually showed me what Twitch was, showed me what G Fuel was, because this was like the first time I saw G Fuel in person long before I got. This is late 2019. What he actually taught me was what gives you the crash usually is the sugar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I mean, when it's
definitely.
sugar free and you got these substitutes, less chance of a crash. Tell you what though, man, since we want to experiment with a couple of things, I'll give you a chance. A new segment I wanted to do on the show. So right now, right by my feet is actually I got a bag. I got 4 different energy drinks in here.
Okay.
All 4 I have never tried. A, B, C, or D.
None of it better be Rogue. Take Rogue out of the equation if any of that's
No,
Rogue.
none of them are Rogue.
Okay.
I've been saving those other 2
Good.
for a while. They're let's see, we got
What's going on with Rogue?
Nothing. We just are saving it to review for an episode.
Let's
Nice.
see, we got. Tell you what, I'll tell you the results since we'll go from here. We got a Lost and Found, New Company, a Celsius, a Zoa, and a Bang. So, which one you want me to try tonight? I'm gonna try it live on the show.
Bang sound pretty cool.
All right. So,
What do you think? T?
So Bang, we'll let our guests choose. So Bang is actually a company that's been losing its reputation in the States. So
Okay.
especially when you see flavors that you find in the Dollar Tree.
Dollar store.
Yeah.
When you find a drink that's supposed to cost $3 to $4 at a gas station, be found in the dollar store, is something wrong? Did they buy too many? What is it? When you find so many of that company in there, you wonder what's wrong. And on top of that, I went into a supplement store. Over here, it's called the Vitamin Shop. The guy at the counter is just kind of like, hey, what are you looking for today? I'm like, just looking through some energy cans, man. He goes, all right, Rise cans on sale here. And if you want my recommendation, anything but the Bang. Just because of the ingredients wise, taste wise, everything else. And this actually sounds like a very good flavor. Ladies and gentlemen, shock not
Do you
intended.
think it will be on the Dollar Tree? I don't know how it is for you in the US, but Dollar Store here in Canada, they kind of become something else in the recent years. It's not just $1 thing. You can actually buy brand at like $4 or $5. So do you think it kind of should create a trust feeling that you see a brand going into a market like Walmart or Dollar Tree and stuff like that? I don't know. I'm just thinking, for example, if I will walk into a gas station or a grocery stores and I will see my energy drink there, I think it will create that feeling of trust to see like, oh, if it's there, it should be good. I don't know if it's if it will be a good feeling, but for example, you mentioned a vitamin store. If I will see G Fuel into a vitamin store, I will be like, man, if a vitamin store is selling this, it's probably good.
Yes. So my thought is it bad if it's in a dollar store? So for instance, I saw a Monster hydration line in there and it was mango in there. I tried that this morning. Tasted like ass.
Oh yeah?
2-star. Listen, Teach will grade things 1 to 10. I'll rank them 1 to 5 stars. That was a fat 2. It was disgusting.
Yeah, maybe
But
it's like what they don't sell that much, they will get to them and they
exactly.
put them on. Yeah.
So, Bang, peach, mango. Teach, you think this is going to be good?
I think it'll be okay. I think, for anyone that doesn't know, Bang is technically a really good example company of what to do and what not to do, because they've recently, as we covered a few episodes ago, got hit with a large bankruptcy lawsuit, or a lawsuit and a bankruptcy, because the super creatine, as you see right on the front, super creatine doesn't exist. Creatine does, and then little to find out that had no creatine at all in it.
So
some very little and some no sources of creatine, and they got sued by the Monster Company and the PepsiCo company.
Ouch.
So between everything going on, they declared bankruptcy. They could still operate in business, but the debt's not longer piled up. The debt is in I think it's like 600 million.
Oh,
That's the thing.
Listen, unless you own a sports team, you can't just easily climb out of that debt. I don't care what kind of Florida man that CEO is.
And that's the thing. It's so common now. There's so many different energy brands, stuff like that. You don't want that black spot on your name, because it's going to be really hard. And I mean, a lot of people are just going to be like, oh yeah, your product was good, but there's so many others. I might just give my trust into a company that doesn't declare bank corrupt. So yeah, I can understand how it can.
All right.
Destroy.
Well, cheers, fellas. Let's try this.
Agreed with you though, DC.
Cheers. How is it?
I've had a couple bangs before. This isn't my go-to drink at all, but there's been some where I actually, this was the only episode Teach was gone, but he was doing a charity stream.
Yeah, I remember.
We had two guys actually taking place, two friends of the show. I actually had the Bang champagne, and I threw this son of a bitch out my window.
Champagne, that's okay.
Yeah, now I thought it'd be promising. I expected maybe an apple and a pear, maybe a white grape, whatever. Nope, it was ass. It tasted like crap. This right here,
it's probably not too bad, but not great.
Yeah.
The problem is the flavor. This is peach mango. So to my surprise, 3-star. I mean, you get a little flavor at the front. It dies at the end. This is the best Bang I've ever had, mind you, but doesn't mean it's good.
Man, it sounds like a perfect example for Bang. Strong start, dies at the end.
Yes. And for some reason, this is drying the hell out of my mouth. Let's see.
So, a big topic we want to cover with you tonight, DC. It was always our main thought with Kraken. It's looking at some of the ingredients. They have something called beta alanine and a few other stuff that you typically see in a lot of pre-workouts. How did you feel when you drank Kraken? Because beta alanine in a lot of pre-workouts gives you the little warm, tingly sensation. Some people call it spiders crawling on you. Did it make you feel that way?
So funny story. I never take pre-workout. So it does feel like this because I made a video, you saw it, and it was pretty fun doing that with OGM. When I jumped in the snow and did the tap push-up and the run with the husky and stuff like that, I was literally feeling I had way too much energy. I drink it really quick, like I will drink a G Fuel. And the funny thing, at the end of the video, you see my empty shaker on the side, and I told my mother, I'm like, oh my God, it looked like I drink it all in 5 minutes. And she's like, you did drink it all in 5 minutes for the video. And I felt a little thing. I felt like Legolas in Lord of the Ring when he's drinking with Gimli. He's like, oh, I feel something in my finger. And 5 minutes after, I was just, I had a lot of energy. But I didn't have a crash though. It's just, it go like this. And after that, you just kind of stay on the. So it's something I really like the product and the effect it has. It's just all the admin side of it that kind of, I felt, I'm not gonna say felt betrayed, but it's just I had a bad experience on the customer side. So obviously I was like, if they cannot give information to their partners, how I can send this company to my friends so they will use it as consumer, because obviously you should start from building your brand and go ahead. And I have the impression that they have a lot to work on, I think, but they're pretty recent. I wish them the best, because honestly, they have really good product. It's just right now it's the fee and the fact that they swapped to US. They seems to now Canadian seems to pay way too much for UPS, so it's sad. But no, it felt like for what you're saying, Teach, with the pre-workout effect, it felt like this. And I did drink a full shaker, a double scoop, and I was not feeling great. I was in the bed with my heart pumping. I'm like, what is wrong with G Fuel? I can drink one, and after a shower, I can go to bed. I was insomniac. I was not able to sleep at all. I was way too stimulated.
I bring that question up because our main thought is like a lot of times we see them pushing in more like the energy supplement market, like G Fuel is, but we do find certain ingredients that you'll find a lot of pre-workouts. So do you think they're trying to bridge the gap and be that happy medium that you could have as an energy supplement, or do you feel like there was a little bit more to pre-workouty? Because like a lot of times people be like, oh, G Fuel, I take that for pre-workouts just because it has caffeine, but not everything that has caffeine is necessarily a pre-workout, because a lot of times pre-workouts will have way more ingredients in them to actually help you work out than just caffeine. So do you think they're kind of bridging the gap? Do you think they're in the right market, the wrong market? How do you feel about that?
I don't have a lot of experience with trying different energy drink. Like I said, it's pretty much the basic Monster, Red Bull, G Fuel I try. I had the impression that Kraken, I describe it as an adult drink. I really had the impression that that was kind of the hybrid experience. I could drink one while I will go party dancing or do a CrossFit workout, but I could also drink one to just have that little sugar of an energy drink that I want to feel the comfort when I'm playing a video game, stuff like that. I really find that it felt like a perfect hybrid experience. Kind of, I could do both with them. I felt it was that kind of energy drink that I could fit into my day life routine, and it will just feel good.
Like that.
I don't know too much about
that's crazy. So I think one thing, and it's been a recent topic. So do you think Kraken markets to kids?
If I look at the art, I could say so, because if you look, like, it's a lot of like little, I'm not saying that it's not nice. I like the color and the stuff like that, but I don't know. It's a good question. I think right now, because they're so recent, I think that they're actually going to need to kind of know and test where they want to go, but I don't know.
So the reason why we asked this, and this actually came up last week. I actually asked a couple of co-workers and stuff like this, because they know what G Fuel is, stuff like this. So if you take off the word G Fuel, you see Spyro from 10 feet away. Does this look like it markets to a kid?
Yes.
So the problem that we're kind of having here is it seems to be like a kind of thing where, hey, we got a game that's rated E for everyone. And we have a drink that technically you're supposed to be 18 to buy it if it's in a can. Like, even if it even says on the Bang can right here, age of 18.
Yeah.
Although, newsflash, you don't get ID'd to buy the damn thing. You don't. They don't check ID for it. But the major thought is that if you have a 12-year-old kid that wants to say, hey, Mom, I want to buy 2 scoops of this so I could get up and study when he actually wants to play Call of Duty all night, it sucks because there seems to be a lot of marketing around. And if you say teenagers, well, technically speaking, that's kids.
Yep.
If you're marketing between somebody 12, 13, all the way to when they graduate high school, those unfortunately are kids. Right now, it seems there's a lawsuit, and it's about Ghost Energy, because they're doing collabs with Swedish Fish. They're doing collabs with Warheads Candy, the works. And unfortunately, if you see them both from 10 feet away, you assume that they're both the same. That's for everybody, marketing wise. And it wasn't a company saying, hey, you can't do this. It was kind of, we have organizations down here like Like, do you know what the FCC is?
No.
The FCC is basically it's an American company that does censorship
Okay.
for TV and stuff. So we have all these health companies and all that. Now, granted, they are not strict compared to other nations at all. Like, if you want to know the difference, look at UK ketchup versus American ketchup. That'll tell you right there. But as far as when it goes, hey, you can't do that, this looks like it for kids. Well, now we're at this part where how are we going to say you can't do this, this goes to kids, you're marking the kids, but yet look at the stuff we're putting in food and consumer stuff every single day that you're saying, screw it, any of you can have it. We're starting to get into this political mess, and we hate talking politics on this show.
Do you guys think that energy drink should be treated just like as other substance? Even more if we start having a brand like Kraken, for example, that seems to put pre-workout things. Do you think they should be more strict? And actually, because you can see kids drinking a Monster, but technically there's caffeine on it. You should not drink that when you're a kid, technically, for health reason. But that will mean they will need to be more strict on the website and the order, because I'm pretty sure a kid could go on an energy drink website, just order it and start drinking it. Do you think it's something in the future that they should be more strict, maybe change design and change stuff to not advertise kids as much? I mean, you can still advertise gaming and activities and stuff, because I mean, as you grow older as an adult, you can still be passionate about video game. I mean, just look at us. So
I think personally it comes down to parenting. It's a whole mess of a topic that I hate getting into, because it just comes down to parenting. And it's one of those things where it's like, if someone's going to get their hands on it, you're not going to really stop them. It's a silly topic because it's just larger reaching federal companies just trying to think about the children. And I mean, we've had this for years long in many countries and many places, like it's cigarettes, alcohol, it's been many different things. Now they're just trying to find new targets. So like, it's no different than your kid drinking Mountain Dew. You're gonna let them drink it. Just watch what your kids are having. It's just BS propaganda to say think about the children so they can have something to be relevant about.
No, I agree. Because I mean, I could be nice at home, but if you don't have any parenting, the kid can just go to a store, get what he wants, and take it at school anyway. No, I agree.
And I agree with Holly, because I mean, at the end of the day, right? If you go to a coffee shop, like what if somebody goes into a Tim Hortons who's 12 years old and says, I want the double Java, and I need 2 shots of espresso, and don't forget it. What's the difference?
A good double, eh?
So either guy, I need 2 shots of espresso, eh? Versus 1 scoop of this, and that's 100 milligrams. So would you rather have them have the double espresso along with the coffee, or 1 scoop of this, which is less? So as far as coffee, the coffee is a little different, and we have no idea where to draw the line. And also, that's not being, I know it's not being reinforced over here. It's breaking our balls. It's killing me on the inside. Don't forget about it. I mean, I think the energy drinks is getting the bad rap in America because of the news, right? Because this thing has 86 milligrams of caffeine. But if you talk to someone who is about the age of 50 to 60, they'll be like, oh, you drink those things? They're going to kill you.
But they drink 20 coffee a day. So like, that's the
thing that gets me is my grandfather, Italian man, right? It's so watered down, right? But he'll take 3 scoops of coffee, make it in a big pot, and he will drink through all that in one day. So everyone's thinking, whoa, how come you only drink coffee all day long? Well, it's basically 3 cups of coffee, but they're all watered down, where it's just muddy.
He's sipping
not even dirty water, just muddy water. Like water that looks like you didn't even filter your sink. And it's terrible.
If he likes it,
I've tried it. It's terrible. Absolutely terrible.
So on to a different, brighter, better topic. DC, from your experience, again, just from your experience, what companies do you know of energy supplement wise? Like, I think G Fuel a little bit has been, you knew Kraken previously, but what companies do you know of that ship to Canada that any of our Canadian viewers can get?
I mean, there's always like the big one that you can find in store, like Monster, Red Bull. There's that one too that we have now. OGM will remember who it's from, but it's called like Predator. It came from. Do you guys have that in US?
Predator.
Yeah, it had that like Transformer face logo on it. That's
look that
pretty
up.
big now. It's on the store and stuff. Yeah, Mixed and Rogue as well. You said the glitch is
Is it that gold can with the tiger on it?
no,
Predator?
is it the one you have from Predator? Oh, so that might not be it then. It came from a body lifter.
This guy?
Oh no, that is not. I didn't know about this one. No, it's not. So I
That's
have
not
the
it?
name wrong then. No, it's
Ah.
not it. It's like it's a black can with like a Transformer
Mixed in.
face on it.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I understand Rogue. I've only tried a can from Rogue so far. I actually got a couple of things here. Me and Teacher are willing to try soon. I've only known one person that has tried mixed. Have you tried any mixed by any chance?
We try both. We try Rogue and Mix.
So how is mixed?
It tasted like really diluted. Like I find that it didn't have. It doesn't matter if I will scoop more or scoop. It just had the impression that I was drinking Mix. It's close to G Fuel. Was it not the one that we tried the flavor and we found that it tastes like diluted a lot? I know Rogue had a really huge range of product. They even had like an actual meal prep milkshake one that was amazing, like the caramel vanilla something. But Mix tasted really, I don't even remember the taste, just to give you an idea of how it didn't give me a punch or an experience. I was like, oh wow, I want more. I drank it and I think OGM and I were both like, it's good, but you will give me something else and I will just, yeah, it didn't came out of the lot of all the rest. It just,
I only know one other person that tried it. They tried to see if the starfruit flavor tasted like an actual starfruit. And he said that was a diluted, watered down
yeah.
third cousin, that because it's not starfruit.
Yep, no, it's literally the
And
feeling I
that,
have.
that's a hairy description. I'm like, what the hell is this? What in the hell is this?
Do you remember OGM what flavor we had? But yeah, that was the thing. It's we drank it and yeah, it didn't give anything like coming up of like, oh wow, that's amazing. I actually want to drink it more. So it's just like, okay, the tub is sitting there. It's gonna be an energy drink. We're gonna drink it. And I don't think we felt like I didn't have the sugar rush of G Fuel, but I didn't feel any. It was just a sweet energy drink, I guess, but just really neutral.
Okay, so for you and OGM, so we have an energy drink company called Maw. So G Fuel has this flavor pink grapefruit that they don't make anymore.
Okay.
So when I found out that Maw was making, they call it Arctic Howl, but it was citrus. I ended up giving the rest of my tub away to our mod. I'm not sure if he's in the chat tonight or not, but Ty's a good guy. So what I found out when I first tried it is when I put just one scoop in, it says 60 servings on it, so 60 scoops. If you put one scoop in, it just tastes like this weird flavored water.
Okay.
But you have to double scoop it. So instead of 60 servings, it's actually 30.
Yep.
But when we did try the double scoop, it was actually pretty good. The real flavor that we're trying to duplicate is kind of like that's an A on a test, versus this other brand, it's a B on a test. You know what I mean? So you kind of settle there, but it just does suck when it says, "Hey, X amount of servings," but you got to double scoop it so it don't taste like crap.
Do you think it's like something that could be encouraged in the future for a brand? Meaning, if you take only one scoop, you have that water energy but like smooth experience. But if you double scoop, you have that like punch, more like a G Fuel. But they do double the amount of serving. It is something you think that will be good for an energy drink formula. Just something that can be inspiring, giving the opportunity to people to have like an entire thing where it's going to say that you have the double serving, but you have that lowest like sweet thing.
So there are companies like, for instance, for this right here, It does say you can double scoop it. Well, of course, if you do, instead of 40 servings, you got 20. Or if you're like this company here, now we've had a couple. If we go by G Fuel, there have been certain flavors where they do require more than one scoop.
Okay.
A very popular flavor, it was the Mega Man collab.
Yes,
To get to where I like it,
it's really
he's
good.
got the can version of that. To get to where I like it, I need a scoop and a half because I think it's very light. And for instance, the first time me and Teach tried this, Teach, did you try the second helping of this?
Don't recall.
Did you get that box that I sent your way or no?
You know, that's a great question. Because I got the box right here, but I never asked you what all these samples were.
So now you bring this up. Now you bring this up. All right, so
I think the funniest part is I even got your little like to-do list.
well, I mean, hey, those are to be were to be shipped out to some winners, but the first time me and Teach tried this flavor, we thought it was mediocre. But we actually had a Juju partner come on to the show, and we actually found out, he goes, guys, trust me, this flavor takes a scoop and a half. And we're like, oh shit. I actually had the same brand, blackberry lemonade. I think it scoop and a half, it tastes too tart. Scoop and a quarter, just right.
That's
So
the thing. Is it a really like a personal taste, or when you hear things like people, someone from the brand be like, oh, you know what? It's a 1.5. Should they not change the scoop at this point and make it to fit the amount that they say it tastes the best?
I
Good
think
point. Good point.
I think G Fuel has been very consistent with their flavors. For instance, I think that's the best example because Teach and I have tried dozens and dozens of flavors from this company, and I think sometimes when you say, because we've actually had some potent flavors too. One that sticks out in my mind is Tetris. It was rainbow candy. For me, I've actually taken a shaker instead of 16 ounces. I put 20 ounces of water and I put 3/4 of a scoop in there, and I think it tastes amazing. I think if I put a full scoop in there, I think it tastes just a little bit too sweet for
I
me
think
personally.
G
But
Fuel
they've
had
been
it right.
consistent.
You're right. The little scoop of G Fuel always had that little top part. I was like, what is that? It seems like they didn't break it from the. But I realized that that might be the half, like the scoop and a half they're adding. Because if you scoop G Fuel by default, you're gonna have the full thing compared to if you. Because Kraken had
So
that sometime. I was like, just one. Oh, you're not too sure. G Fuel had the impression that for and then being out for so long, I guess they had like a lot of years of learning and experience. But like, I didn't see any other scoop that came and a tub that G Fuel had, and I find it really unique. But that might be the reason why really maybe
because they all look like this, right?
yeah.
So that's either one, a scoop and a half for a tall boy, or in case, because I usually load up to that first rim, pour it into a water ball if you have to. My father, who's a UPS driver, he pours in the water bottles.
Yeah, so that little topper part on G Fuel scoops, it actually really does make it perfect for a scoop and a half, because that's what I do a lot of times. It's just filler up to the top. But the little top part there, so you could actually break it open and then have it be a funnel as well. Kind of like how Glitch does it, but I just never use the funnel part. But it makes it perfect for scoops and a half.
That's why I didn't even know that. That's why it's like this. That's pretty cool.
I actually like your original point. I think it's honestly a good thought that some people or companies could consider, kind of like how Glitch does, and even a way Advanced GG does, where they like market, hey, if you one scoop this is kind of more of like a hydration away, get the flavor, get some of the ingredients, a little bit of caffeine. But if you double scoop it, there's your rush, there's your punch. And I think it's kind of the better way to go, because that's kind of what I do with Glitch, but I just always double
because
scoop.
Rogue was the other way around. You go on Rogue, it's like, do you want an hydration? Do you want a boost? Do you want this? Do you want this? And you have so many different products. It's like I felt overwhelmed a bit with Rogue. There were so much different things compared to, like you say, if you have one tub, but kind of let you know the step and how to make it. It kind of, but you need to make sure of the ingredient they have in it, obviously, because like you say, if they have pre-workout thing, maybe literally like a kid that will want to drink energy drink just like a coffee. When you have a kid on pre-workout, that works different though. Now it should be advertised and
the billion Mandy effect. Yeah.
Yep.
The beast in my head. Ah.
Yep.
When you have a kid going to see going like, yeah.
Oh my God!
You don't
like,
want that.
You got.
I mean that kid could do anything but backflip and freaking walk on water.
Yep.
That is an effect you do not want.
Yeah, it's like so bad. You look up, he's there.
Caution, kid with a can, danger zone.
So DC, from your experience now with the news and unfortunate departure and everything with Kraken and all that, what company do you feel like you're going to go back to or try next? Do you feel like you're just going to go back to drinking G Fuel? Do you feel like you're going to try something all new like Glitch or go back to Rogue? What is like your thoughts on like what company are you looking to go to next when you're gaming and you're streaming?
I want to. I still have some G Fuel to finish. I have the Mega Man edition to finish. I really like this one, so it's nice to go back to a product that I've been consuming for months. I still have some Kraken that I want to finish. The sad thing is I want to order more from them because I like their product. But again, until they contact me or that I know that the UPS issues, it's fixed, I'm just going to hold on. Because I mean, I cannot afford to pay double price on a tub. It's just, it gets too expensive at this point. I like the flavor. But I definitely want to try a Glitch. After, I might ask you to send the link and kind of... I mean, like I said, I'm not looking for another sponsorship. I'm looking for a good product to enjoy. And I mean, I'm going to be super happy if you and really have things to share with me. And I'm open to try stuff. I find it really cool. And it's nice to exchange opinion with the flavor and just look at the ingredient. And I kind of want to feel that you mentioned it, teacher. I think it's really what applied to me. I want to find that sweet spot, the hybrid experience of I can drink that like I will drink a Monster at work, but I want to be able to take that a certain way that I can go pre-workout with it. That will kind of be the dream energy drink for me.
I think that's very hard to find because I mean, again, the beta alanine, it does because I mean we're kind of looking at this. We went ingredient, just kind of like going through very slowly. I sent him the link, and we were both looking at this one at a time. This was off camera, and we're just kind of thinking to ourselves, this kind of borderlines pre-workout. And I mean, as far as flavor profile, I think there's so much variety where I think it's going to be so hard for you to choose. Formula wise though, I think it's going to be a little harder. Because if you're going by taste, no issue. As far as that performance, I feel like you're going to be leaning towards more Glitch with Teach on that one. But that's just from what I'm gathering so far. Teach might be able to filter it down a little bit more.
I'd say if you do decide to try out Glitch, let me know for sure. I can help you out with that.
Yeah,
because and we always got suggestions too. Like if you like gave us like something you're into, boy, I could get a list for you. Like it's just how that is.
Yeah, because you're right. There are so many different taste and different flavor. But I think it's when a company is out there going to try other stuff. I think the real goal when you want to jump, at least for me, I prefer going for LT and knowing what I'm going to drink and something good. And from there, well, I can try the different flavor they want. I don't want the other way around. I don't want to try something and be like, oh, it's good for the taste. But when you look at the effect and the thing in it, I will be disappointed compared to something more like fitting the needs I have.
Good way to put it. Before we get to the tail end of the show here, one last thing off topic as well, but I feel like it deserves a big credit too. It's also a big salute and a big hats off to DC Divinely, because this man is a part of the Canadian Army and he's doing God's work over here.
Thank you. Yeah, still 2023, still proud of serving my country and really happy to jump into the media more. And again, thank you very much to both of you for inviting me. I was jumping around all day, was super excited. Was my first ever podcast experience. You guys make me nervous, but finally I went with the vibe. You guys are fantastic. And thank you very much, honestly, for just having me here. I had a lot of fun.
So one thing we always like to do with our guest appearances at near the end of every episode is, and it's okay if you don't, but we always like to give the opportunity to. So we always like to give our guests the opportunity to ask us any questions. If you have any questions about one of us, the show, anything. Again, if you don't, it's okay. But we always want to give our guests the opportunity to ask any questions they may have.
Okay, well, Teach, for sure I'm gonna ask you a question about glitch, but that can be later because I'm gonna try it. And kind of just if I can ask, not to make a huge discussion about it, but just quick, what gets you into an energy drink? Like, what's the kind of things that get you into that? Are you more like in that than coffee, and why?
Riley, you can go first.
So for me, this kind of went for like a long thing, but I mean, I drink on the side. Usually it was like Monsters with a couple of friends of mine in high school.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm like 14 at the time, and again, I regulated it. Like it was only be like one can. It would be on Friday nights. It'd just be skateboarding at the skate park, stuff like that. As I got older, I want to say sometimes you just crave it. Like there was one summer where me and my girlfriend at the time, we would just have like these times where we would go out and they had this pina colada Red Bull, and that was my jam.
That sounds amazing.
From my summer, every time I saw it at a gas station, that'd be my immediate pickup. That was my jam.
Nice.
As I got older and I started working retail, sometimes those stuff would help you go through nights. It would either be the blueberry Red Bull, or at the time it would be the acai. That got me through a lot of stuff. Eventually, cost-wise, I would just get the 4-packs. It'd either be the cranberry, the blueberry, or the OG. Sometimes it's sugar-free, depending on the crash level. But as far as where I started getting into G Fuel, what me and my father used to do, and my sister would occasionally take them, is we would buy Red Bull from the warehouse clubs, buy them in bulk.
Nice.
Well, at some point, it was, there's got to be a cheaper way, because even though we were getting them at a bulk price, it's just kind of like, is there any way we can substitute this? Any way possible? So at that point, I saw the advertisements for G Fuel, but I mean, when you see PewDiePie and you're not too familiar with the gaming part of, like Twitch, adult YouTube stars, you see PewDiePie. Like when you see PewDiePie in a brand you've never heard of before, the first thing in your mind is it a gimmick? Obviously, it's not now, but I saw the buy one, get one free, and I said, wait a minute. 40 servings a piece. I'm doing math in my head, so I'm like, hold on. Is there a chance that I could be getting 80 servings for the price of one case of Red Bull plus shipping?
Yep.
Sure enough, that was the case. Peach iced tea and fruit punch. 2 flavors. I was able to get the 2 tubs of them, was never able to get them back again, but it started from there, and eventually just was only buying on the buy one get one free sales. And now for the community, I try to get a couple things, but I'm not gonna lie though, as far as not publicity, because for me, I'm not really a streamer. I'm more of an author myself. I do this stuff on the side, all that. I've not really thought of like an energy drink sponsor or partnership, anything like that. But as far as what I think the best brand is, and as far as the brand treating people right, I mean, Teach. If G Fuel never had these big things blown up the last year, you think you would actually still pursue Glitch, or would you pursue the G Fuel partnership program they got going on in beta? I mean,
probably would have pursued G Fuel a little more, but I also can't say I wouldn't have pursued Glitch, because I do enjoy their product and their community aspect and what they're about.
I'm just saying the politics, unfortunately, with G Fuel, like over the Christmas break in between New Year's, they laid off 2 really good artists. Like the things that have happened last year from the business point of view, unfortunately gets into politics, but it's a turnoff because you're for people and you want to support good things. It's like, if I get turned off from G Fuel, I don't want anyone to think that I'm a hater. It's just, I support people that actually respect their creators, their artists, and everything else. because if you do not have good creators and good artists, you have half the brand you have.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, DC, what got me to trying them was about 10 years ago, 17 in high school. You know, big gamer still back then, drinking everybody's favorite gamer drink, Mountain Dew. I'd be drinking about half case to almost full case a day of Mountain Dew for the caffeine fix. But I knew it was terrible for sugar in my health. So it was in the very early days of G Fuel. I heard about them, thought I would give them a try, and I'd come to love the product, and I felt way better, none of the sugar, and it kind of grew from there. Getting more water in my system, less sugar, more caffeine. I felt better, and that's just kind of what blossomed it all. I was just getting off that and trying something better.
You're right with that. It's true that the fact that you have control over the scoop and that you mix it with water, you kind of get that feeling of hydration. You don't feel like you're just drinking sugar. You always have that feeling that, oh, it's better for your body, better for your health.
And sometimes, and you got more expanded flavors too, because it's like if you're drinking Mountain Dew, that's one flavor a lot of times. Like regular Mountain Dew is just one flavor.
Yeah.
And if I want to take, let's say this and put it in a tea, or heck, I've even put it in a Sprite before. You know what I mean? It just gives it a little more variety and such.
Yeah. So you don't get
over. So, Teach, do you have a bag that says, I believe it says GA on it?
Juju GA 2.0 green apple.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Any chance you could grab a 16 ounce?
We can save for next episode.
All right, bet. Because I think you'll be very satisfied with that stuff going on. But yes, it's amazing the combinations we found out, and we've actually with some of these powders even created flavors. We create did you know on Teach's Twitch stream we create a flavor that was amazing? It was completely by accident.
The greatest thing, Jolie, arrived by accident. I believe it.
So it was mixing Teach iced tea, which it's peach iced tea with golden apple pear. And it's had a couple of names. Originally it was champagne. Then we saw champagne bang, and we're like, screw this. We'll call it wisdom fuel.
Yep.
Because it gives you brain power for hot takes.
Love it.
The wisdom fuel, that's where that came from. I've actually been trying to work with a couple people. You know the rocket popsicle flavor?
Yep.
The blue raspberry, the lime, and the cherry. We're actually trying to see if we could replicate that with G Fuel. Okay. So I've been asking a couple people and anyone in the audience, if anyone could try cherry limeade with blue ice. Tell me how it goes out. If you taste that rocket pop, holla at me.
We have the blue ice already, so we're just gonna need to get the other part and try it.
Oh, the cherry limeade. That's interesting stuff. Although I'm very, very pissed off that they didn't remake that. I actually, this is the only flavor that I actually have 3 tubs of.
Okay.
So
I bought it white top just for everybody who's watching this knows. I bought it white tops.
Very last thing before we get off to the end, because I know Relly was very excited to have DC on the show, and he's completely forgot about this. Very last thing, because we're getting near the end mark time-wise. Relly, you recently had a tub design made for the flavor you've always wanted to have, which is Relly Berry, and I have it pulled up right now.
Oh, you have it pulled up?
I have it pulled up and ready. Man, you should always know I come ready doing this.
All right, so just be able to do screen share. I'll pop this up. So, everybody, to Holly the Queen Berry, who I believe is still in the audience. She came in clutch, and I basically said, hey, could Holly the Berry make Relly Berry? And she's never designed a tub before. Without further ado, everybody.
Oh my, I will take my money.
And
she killed it.
I take my clothing, take everything. That looks so. I love the Neo vibe. Kind of give me a hype for a Lightfall Destiny, man. The little colors and I like it.
I
Really
love the
good.
future. It's like 80s Back to the Future.
Yep,
Everything's lit up.
disco and yep, and like you can
Just
see in the
some.
background, I love lights. It's so cool.
It's simple, yet clean, yet pops out.
So
Just
I
everything here just went
But you know,
perfect.
really,
She
you
captured my
mentioned
vision very well. Like she just this is her first tub and she knocked it out of the park.
she's an amazing artist. But you know, you mentioned when you show the spiral, the purple dragon. That's the kind of setting you can see it from really far, and you don't need to go close to be like, oh, that's what I see now. It's nice. You can see it from far or up close, and it the same way. It's amazing. The fading of color, it's really nice. Well, good job on Oli. Doesn't shock me though. She's amazing, but again, she really, you're right. She's really good to nail and understand what you want, even with the minimum direction. She will nail it. It's really cool.
I
she
mean,
is definitely a
basically,
very talented artist. So one thing I just noticed, even having a very tiny sneak peek earlier this weekend, is that she put an R instead of the G.
yep.
I like that touch.
So what happened is I just kind of said, "Hey, is there any chance that you've made a G Fuel tub before?" And she goes, "No, I have not. What do you have in mind?" And I said, "Relly berry, blueberry flavor, and just capture. I want your image. I want your creativity. I want your touch." Because I was very open-minded to this. I had no idea what she was going to do. But when I saw a sneak peek of behind the R and the F, you just see that blueberry effect on it. I
Yeah,
saw that and I said, I like where this is going. Go for it. All hands on deck, all on you. Take your time. I am in no rush. This is knocked out of the freaking park.
yep. Letting an artist express themselves and giving them freedom to kind of add their own spirit, their own fire to it is, oh yeah, definitely. I will get that right away if it was on sale. I will pay the full price for it.
I mean, at the end of the day, I wanted to give Holly a fun project and have like hey, do whatever you want to do. Like sometimes you just want to capture somebody's image. You want somebody's heart and soul into a piece like that, and I was so amazed, and it just gives you a good smile. I mean, anyone could say, "Hey, I would buy that." It makes me think of you, and I'm like, think of me, think of Holly, man. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not kissing ass. This is just facts. That's just talent. It's wholesomeness. I love it.
There's no kiss ass at all. I think we all know that she's a wonderful person and an amazing artist, so that's a huge bonus. But thank you, Oli, for working on that, and thank you, really, for sharing it.
Also,
I'm really
Bri, for the ratio, half and half. Yes, he's actually gonna be trying that flavor to see if it comes out on top for us.
nice. Yeah, the blue ice with the cherry, nice.
The cherry limeade, yes. They actually had a flavor this past year. It was half blue ice and half sour cherry,
Okay.
but I think it just took the blue ice took the sour out,
Oh,
and it
that's
was just this
surprising.
weird. It was this weird mix. I mean, I'm gonna have to talk to Bri about this one as we experiment with it, but they actually do have a tub of advanced GG split gate. It is rocket popsicle, but different formulas, so it just is what it is. There's a nut. The Juju makes a bomber pop. It's basically the same thing, and it's a solid 10 out of 10.
Okay.
There's a lot of people where I've sent it to where they are hardcore G Fuel fanatics. I sent that to them and just say, hey, try this for me and tell me what to do. And they're like, dude, this is good. What is this? This is not G Fuel. I would go out of my way and get this. And I tell them, and they're like, no freaking way.
Nice.
You tell them it's a mystery mix and they want to find out. And I go, I got news for you. That's a different brand, buddy.
That's a good way of getting people in. Give them something you don't tell.
So, nonetheless, everybody, this is the very first episode of 2023. We hope everybody had a fantastic new year. Episode 57 is in the books.
Apparently that combination works. Teach, it works.
We'll see about that. But DC, you've been an absolute blast and a pleasure to have on the show. I always love the energy and the enthusiasm you bring to every single little bit of you do. DC,
Great.
the floor is yours one last time. Where can people find you? What kind of content do you put out?
Oh my God, that threw me off a bit. Well, thank you very much again. It's super easy to have good vibes and be on a good mood when I'm around amazing people. So thank you to both of you again. And you can find me on Twitch, DivinelyCursed, or you can find me on Twitch stream or just around. It can be Oli as well. One thing I realized, and I want to go forward with 2023, and if some of you are watching and not on Twitch, please go on. You meet so many amazing people. I'm super happy to be part of that. I mean, just look right now, I'm a special guest into a podcast of you two. It's been really fun. So yeah, I mean, I'm just going to say 2023, watch out. I think it's going to be a pretty wild year for a lot of people. And Happy New Year one last time. And yeah, I think that's my little message at the end. Thank you again.
Say we appreciate you coming on, brother. It's been a blast. That is episode 57, first episode of 23 in the books. DC, thank you for coming on. It's been a pleasure giving us your insights on Kraken, your personal experience with energy supplements, and even giving us a little bit more of a Canadian perspective that we can't unfortunately give.
Thank you for everything, DC. It's been absolute blast.
Well, thanks to you both as well. And Tej, I'm going to need to ask you some question about Glitch, because again, I want to try some more stuff. So, and I trust you guys with your input. So,
and if you ever need to get a hold of me, man, I thought I was following you on Twitch. Apparently, I wasn't.
That's always the case, man. You think you follow someone, you're like, wait, I was not. But
yes. Relentless 41. You could just message me on there anytime. My door's always open as long as I got connection and I'm not heavily working. So it is what it is. Anytime.
Thanks, man.
But I'll take on Relly's wrap here. As always, everybody, again, Happy New Year. Thank you guys for sticking around with the show. Thank you guys for being a part of the show for another year. Plenty of more content on the way. And 2023 is year of Caffeinated Podcast. As always,
baby.
Stay happy, stay healthy, have a great new year. But most importantly, stay caffeinated, everybody. We are out.
Love it.